Hi there. Are you looking for a resource to practice SQL extensively and truly test your skills and knowledge? Look no further because you've found exactly what you need. While it's cool to practice SQL through dedicated platforms, it can limit your growth. The best way to learn is by installing the relevant database engine software and working with data directly through its interface. So, without further ado, let's get started. To follow along, you'll need to install SQL Server and its graphical interface, SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Whether you choose the Express or Developer Edition doesn't matter. They're both free. For this video, I'll be using the Express Edition. I won't reinvent the wheel by walking you through the installation process, as there are already plenty of great tutorials available. If you're unsure where to start, I recommend following Philip Burton's steps for setting everything up. He explains it really well. Once you've connected to your first instance through SSMS, come back to this video and we'll dive right into it. Once you open SSMS, you'll see a similar screen. In the Object Explorer, you'll be able to explore all kinds of databases. But first, we need to start with an inactive database until we're skilled enough to handle an active one. A SQL Server database typically has at least two system files, a data file and a log file. Whether you create one from scratch or import an existing database, those files will have dedicated file paths. Here, we'll import the data from a backpack file. While it's not strictly an ideal backup format for a database, it's perfect for training purposes. Right-click on Databases in Object Explorer. Import data to your application. Click Next. Locate the downloaded backpack file. Next. You can edit the database name and specify the file paths here. If you have no storage issues on Drive C, you can simply leave it as is and click Next. Review the settings to ensure they are correct, then click Finish to start the import process. Done. Before we begin, keep in mind that data accuracy is not the top priority, as it was pulled from Wikidata. So don't be surprised if you come across occasional inconsistencies or errors. Prior to tackling the problems, take some time to familiarize yourself with the interface and, most importantly, the database. You can explore the structure in the Object Explorer on the left panel, query the system tables to review metadata, or examine each table individually to understand its contents. The approach is up to you, as this setup is designed to be a challenging learning experience. One key detail to remember: a Q identifier uniquely identifies movies. A Q person uniquely identifies people. Understanding this is crucial for joining tables correctly. With that in mind, let's dive in. Keep in mind that I'll provide tips or solutions only when absolutely necessary. Most of the time, you'll be on your own. And please, for your own good, don't reach out to AI for every little issue. It's fine to get feedback on your working solution, but try to push through the problems yourself as much as possible. Struggling is part of the learning process. Now, the first question is easy, but don't underestimate it. Even for simpler problems, there's always room to improve, like shortening your code by refining your logic. For answer verification, use the results pane and check the number of rows displayed at the bottom right corner. Once your result matches mine, move on to the next challenge. Finally, please don't share your code in the comments section, as it could ruin the experience for others. Not a big fan of deleting comments manually, you know. From here on, I'll keep my comments to a minimum. Try to figure out most things on your own. Now, there is one record that appeared as a result of the query which is definitely not what we want. See if you can find it. There are 10,858 records in Movies table. Explain why we got only 10,662 records here. We're halfway there, and you can expect slightly more challenging puzzles from now on. Here, I'll share my approach with you, assuming you've tackled the previous tasks mostly on your own. Pause the video if you don't want to see the solution. Take a look at the query. If there's no record in the Movies table, there will be no record in the Cast Members table. This serves as one of the filters. The other filter is that both the strings male and female must appear in the gender column, in no particular order. This implies they should be separated by a semicolon. I didn't include the semicolon symbol in the logic since it's not necessary, though including it wouldn't be wrong either. The query logic will be relatively simple here, since Leo has only won the Oscar once. Now, it is extremely difficult to include all sequels as the title structures might be different. Simply, look for strings that end with the two symbols below, shown in the results pane. We've reached the end of this training session, and I'd like to share a few thoughts. Whether you're a seasoned SQL user or a beginner, I hope you enjoyed solving these problems. Don't hesitate to share your favorite puzzle in the comment section, or simply like the relevant comment. Also, please refrain from sharing solutions publicly to ensure a fair learning experience for new learners. One last note, if you're still not confident with all types of joins, that's perfectly fine. Most people don't master them on the first try. I won't be sharing the SQL scripts, as the goal here is for learners to put in the effort. My advice? Revisit these problems later with a fresh perspective, and you'll see improvement. Thanks for watching, and keep practicing. Cheers!